All the other content creators might be acting like Ricky's new sponsor was a surprise. But just like you heard it here, he ends up signing with Discraft, a new president announcement for the DGPT, along with other moves and even more this week in disc golf. What's happening, all you disgenerates, and all the clickbait throwing haters who can't help themselves from tuning in? And while I got you, I guess we really didn't need that question mark after all, did we? Most know me by now, but for the ones in the back, I'm Swiss Cheese, the one with all the holes in his game and just one half of the disc golf world. The best and fastest professional disc golf news source on YouTube airwaves. And no, that statement was not a mistake. You're watching This Week in Disc Golf, where I cover all things disc golf from the past week. Those on the Patreon, the ones who have subscribed, anyone who has contributed to our channel in any way, shape, or form, and even you watching now need to know all of you have helped get these two goofballs overseas to Finland for this upcoming World Championship. It's truly amazing that all your efforts help uplift this channel to the heights we have achieved in less than 2 years. Now, before I start tearing up, let's jump into this Ricky news already. As the Raptor leg kicking Wysocki inked a 3-year deal with Discraft, as they have destroyed this offseason more than we have. I have no issue saying it out loud, nor should you, in what is the greatest offseason by a manufacturer to date in our sport. And let's not entertain that 2016 Prodigy year, as they weren't really manufacturing a thing back then. Discraft locked down the top free agent on the market in AB to a 3-year deal, and the best free agent that most in the industry claimed they didn't suspect to be available. But I'll address that later in the video. And the number 2 in the world rankings, Ricky Wysocki. Add everyone's favorite, quote, up-and-comer, despite him already kicking that door down, in Ezra Robinson. Let's not forget Kayla Viska, and also the GOAT Ken Climo with his adjacent new brand. I'm not done, as neither was Discraft, re-signing the vegan and other Ezra, that being Adderhold. One of the 20 or so Brixton owners, Adam Hammis. Ace Chaser, Austin Turner. 2 major winners in Andrew Presnell and Corey Ellis. To save the comment section below this video, Brody Smith and the underrated Ben Calloway. This was supposed to be a difficult offseason. And no, I'm not done. I'm just catching my breath before I get to the ladies. Both Monda Hanus, another former world champion Paige Shue, Dark Ace Hannah Wynn, and Taylor Chosek, who's turning heads with her distance. That's on top of the names still under contract with the brand. And both Pauls, Macbeth and Ulibarri, Chris Dickerson, Paige Pierce, Holland Hanley, and Aaron Gossage. Why are we still even trying to entertain an idea of a manufacturer's cup when you can already crown it with this stacked lineup? And this latest Ricky announcement is the icing on the cake. Of course, Ricky's announcement included a Raptor release, even more slow-mos, a not-so-iron shirt, and the unveiling of a new logo to go with it, as Discraft's marketing team kicks into full effect with their latest signing. Ricky's split didn't stop there, as caddy and tour manager Vern will no longer be alongside Ricky this upcoming year, as Ricky burns through tour managers about as quickly as manufacturers. Most importantly, this signing also ends what has been months of tumultuous negotiations, ridiculous pay cut offers, and one of the most heralded contracts the sport has ever seen. And unbeknownst to most in the community, also shows just how poorly our sports reporting truly is. Despite what most of the popular content creators say on their podcasts, this was not a surprise. Look, I pride ourselves on our legwork, persistence, and all the back-end hours the nephew and I put in to get the news out to you, as this story has truly been months in the making. However, I would be lying no differently than the others in the industry if I said we were the only ones to know of Ricky leaving or where he was signing for that matter. But this was known by most, if not by all. But unlike us, they just lined up to play their part. Drew certainly did, whether you want to try and discredit that tweet. At least he was sworn to secrecy by Ricky himself and admitted to it. That and Terry made it clear he also knew. But this rant doesn't include him, because Terry is willing to publicly admit that he knows, but doesn't report on any offseason moves unless directed by the players themselves. I may disagree, but I can respect it. That, and it's better than acting as if you don't to your fans. But the fake shock and awe provided by all the other, quote, leaders in the game is all just performance art. This has been known, and a big offseason move was alluded to by every, and I mean every, disc golf content creator early in the offseason. Everyone discussed Drew's tweet at one point, and some even mentioned our video saying Rick was going to Discraft, only to all of a sudden go around saying this was the best kept secret weeks later. Or worse, how about the daytime soap opera antics, acting as if they don't know exactly where Ricky will end up, which is an absolute disservice to their fans and the community for that matter. But yeah, make sure to comment on how bad my titles are. Damn, even Matt said the out loud part.
Grip locked. Literally was making guesses and takes saying absolutely Ricky will not leave dynamic discs. So like, again, they could be playing it off. I've been in that situation before, but why would they go so far as to say he's not leaving? So
yeah.
All I could say is it's really interesting. This one has been really kept under wraps, and I guarantee Rick has just been loving it.
But who knows? Maybe I'm just bent out of shape, as most actively go out of their way and try to avoid mentioning on any of our reporting or videos. I'm sure the comment section will agree. But you guys should be able to admit out loud, it's funny that no one knew, but everyone made sure to mention they believe it will be Discraft right before the announcement happened. Every one of them. Multiple hosts, on multiple channels. How's that work? Just luck? Shit, Jefferson told a host of Staggered Stance to his face in front of Gannon at the expo, only to have them fake as if they don't know for sure about it a week later. How exactly does Foundation turn from 20% likely Ricky departs a week ago to both saying it's Discraft, even stating nearly the exact time of when Ricky's announcement will be the following day of their podcast? Maybe it's Reddit, I guess. Say what you will about our style, delivery, and even our titles, but this channel is beholden to no one, has no business ties that affects our reporting, who continues to work hard at our craft and to tell you the news with our chest when we get confirmation from our multiple sources. Does it rub some the wrong way? Certainly. Has it cost us money and possible partnerships? Absolutely. But we're not changing if it means lying to our viewers. Let's dive into another one of our common punching bags, as the PDGA made some major location announcements this week also, awarding the 2026 World Championships to Milford, Michigan, home to the world-famous toboggan and the inclusion of a lengthened Black Locust South course, as they edged out 2 other bids. The TD will be none other than PDGA President Nate Heinhold. And if that doesn't feel like enough conflict of interest, add his Ledgestone insurance ties with the PDGA. And his Ledgestone brand, for that matter, that not only was prominent at this past Worlds, but may have influenced the overcharging of other companies/competitors for that year's Fly Mart. And though this selection is less egregious than awarding Lynchburg, despite neither of those courses holding a major tournament at the time, as Toboggan's notoriety certainly does hold a lot of weight for this selection. No one can argue that Nate and his team hold some of the most popular and attended stops on tour that drive money to the sport, giving him certainly a level of expertise that is matched by few in the industry. Credit does need to be given here. However, you cannot also ignore the numerous course issues at his events either. Whether it's Ledgestone's different tee surfaces that receive PDGA exceptions, non-marked OB, events, and course layouts that are criticized by pros for their lack of professionalism. Who can forget the disaster that was Heinhold's Hill with those ridiculous meme rollaways and the panned course design of Ivy Hill? Will this be the last World Championship awarded to Nate? Most likely not, but ignoring the optics, the obvious business conflicts that are attached, continues to be a poor look for the PDGA. But money talks, and in this case walks. But hey, at least we got Disc Golf Fanatics banger meme out of it. The 2027 World Championship was awarded to Oregon, as the Pacific Northwest will be featured again after over a decade since its last Worlds in 2014. With it, the announcement of yet another familiar and former World Championship TD in Jeff Springs. Yes, the CEO of the Disc Golf Pro Tour, Jeff Springs. And I can't go in on Nate and not highlight the DGPT and PDGA's close business ties themselves. Even if I am excited that the West Coast is awarded a World Championship over the latest trend of East Coast bias. Milo and Glendoveer are 2 exceptional courses, and some of my favorites to view on coverage. Add 2 years to tighten up some of the known issues, and this year's trial run with the Northwest Disc Golf Championship, I expect a stellar event. Yet with the lack of bids and the TD selections for areas to choose from, my concern is this process becomes homogenized and orchestrated amongst leaders prior to even getting to the bid table of the PDGA. What's that mean exactly? We might be years away from another World Championship overseas, despite impressive bids out of Talent, and Canada for that matter, or dark horse locations who cannot attract the same names or ties. The only thing that seemed to be missing from this announcement was the location of the 2026 USWDGC and Champions Cup for that matter. And listen, before you guys get excited about a USWDGC move to Winthrop, like I admit it should, that's not what's happening here, as whispers from our inner circles are that the bids surrounding the women's event just did not make the cut. And while we're breaking news and sharing info, from some of our confidential but very reputable sources, the frontrunner for the 2026 Champions Cup is none other than Failure Lake. Just remember where you heard it first. The Disc Golf Pro Tour had some announcements themselves, unveiling a new president, Dominic DeFibio, described to us as an venture capitalist, but in the announcement as having over 18 years of experience in the financial sector, specializing in investment and strategic management. Was also an informal advisor and direct support via his partnership with Brown, his former employer. Dominic will be working directly under Springs, who hopefully might be able to relieve him of some of Springs' many roles, which was a past criticism of the CEO. DeFibio enters his new role as president at a pivotal time in our sport, and for the tour for that matter, with growth overseas and the development of DGPT Europe, while here in the States has seen stagnant movement from outside investors. Included in the announcement, the promotion of Brian Cole to Vice President of Tour Operations and Christine Jennings to the Director of Administration and Tour Operations, along with the departure of Phil Deloney, who moves into the Director of Competition with the PDGA. Let's get into some fast-hitting off-season news. The community is in an uproar over Innova's marketing or business practices, finally dropping a promotion in the much sought-after Star Plastic release for the Pig, allowing collectors to shell out $50 to have their version of a Brixton break with their Star Pig blind bag purchase with 4 exclusive stamps with degrees of rarity, only to drop the base or most common stamp of the pack about a week later for $30 less. I guess you should be happy about getting a collector's bag, mini, and a sticker if you coughed up that $50. Now, is this move wrong? Not exactly, as Innova made clear their numbers and that they might be another release. But does it feel right? Not really, as the community made it known. And you guys should know us by now. We hope for the drama. Here's the wishing for a Friday Factory second release of Star Pigs to really stir the pot. Joel Freeman finally announces his open bag sponsorship with Infinite Disc in what was one of the most creative announcements of the offseason. Absolutely solid move in marketing by the Infinite team, and most importantly, not a single slow-mo or factory walkthrough. Macy Veladiaz returns to Dynamic Discs as she will lead the brand on the FPO side. Does this absolve Dynamic from her release during her pregnancy? Probably not, especially with what we've been told was her per-event rate, which I have no intention of releasing, but if you're a fan, make sure you go out and support. Robert Burridge signs with Great Lakes Disc Golf, joining the team alongside Kyle Klein and Andrew Marweed. As this offseason begins to wrap up and inch our way towards the season, most still anticipate Burridge to have a dynamic signing announcement, while many are questioning exactly where Haley King might land, as she might be the biggest name left to be unsigned. She has been seen on social media throwing, and I wish I could deliver a statement on her anticipated landing spot, but truthfully, haven't heard a single word. But we've been busy also. And guys, that wraps up this week in Disc Golf. If you've enjoyed and not subscribed, make sure to do so. And if you haven't already, hit that like button, comment, and share.